Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to finally film my week 1 and 2 check-in of my August monthly budget. I have so much to do in this video and I know that I am behind, but I'm really excited to show you guys what I've spent so far for the month of August, as well as finish setting up my budget planner. I did go ahead and set up some of the pages for another video. I'm filming a budget planner setup video, so definitely stay tuned for that. I'm not done filming that, so that video should go up after this one. But I wanted to show you guys my new cover that I have here for my monthly planner. This planner as well as this cover is from the Erin Condren site, and I loved it because it had Hello Kitty. You guys know I love Hello Kitty, and it just says chase your dreams, and I just named it budget planner. In the past I've put the year that we're in, but I decided to not include it this time, so then that way maybe I could use it for like past budget planners or even future ones. But I just love this cover so much. You guys know my favorite color is red, so I thought it was perfect. So yes, let me not bore you guys with that, and let's get started with laying down my budget expense stickers. Like I mentioned, I'm going to be tracking my expenses for the first 2 weeks. Let's get started. The first thing I want to do, like I mentioned in, I believe, my July budget results video, I'm going to change 2 of the budget expense stickers just so I can use one of the August colors. I am going back to this rosy color from the Neutrals collection in the shop. This one is permanently in the shop, but this one is only for the month of August. So whenever all of the August stickers are no longer on the site, this is also going to come down. So I'm going to be using this yellow color for allowance. I'm just gonna plop that in there. And then this one will be for groceries, which I think I've used this color for groceries in the past, and I just loved it. So that looks cute and it matches with this month's colorway, so I like that very much. I also finally found my fine tip markers, so I can go ahead and use those today. Before I lay these down, or I'll lay these down really quick along with my weekly check-in stickers. So for the weekly check-in, I'm going to be using the last washi option, which was the back to school one. I really like this because it has pink, the blue, but it also has the yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and use the weekly check-in with the pink glitter. And I just have an extra weekly check-in script because I do use both of these pages for that. So let me quickly go ahead and set this up. I might end up fast forwarding this, I'm not sure, but there is a lot that I still have to do. Oh my god, guys, I feel like I am still looking for all of my things. I don't know where anything is at, and I feel like I'm so busy now with the orders too, because my mom is no longer coming over to help me. So it's just been all around a very stressful time for me, and the main reason why all of these videos are super late, and because I went on vacation, and just moving all in all is not very fun. So yeah, that's how my life has been. How have you guys been though? I'm barely weekly checking in for week 1 and 2, and we're already gonna be almost done with it, but don't mind me. Alright, so I laid down all of my stickers, and it seems like I didn't spend any money, obviously, the second week, and that was because I was on vacation then. So there's going to be a lot of no spend here, but as you guys can see, especially the day before I went on vacation, I had a lot of errands to run, and I spent the most money there, I think. Yeah, I also went ahead and just took out the date dot so that I can lay down all of my expense trackers, which for the most part they fit pretty good in there, so that is good. Now next, let's go ahead, and before I start weekly checking in, I'm going to lay down some stickers. So I have some payday stickers here, and then I'll also lay down some no spend stickers. So there's a no spend day on the 2nd, it's pretty much it for the first week. Then the second week, which since the first was on a Sunday, I'm going to, I don't think I split the weeks yet, but I'm going to make the first week be from the 1st until the 8th, and then the second week will be from the 9th until the 15th. And that is how that'll work. I'll also show you guys how I'll roll over the amount that I had left over for some of my cash envelopes from last month. And I think those are it. Yeah, so far we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 no spend days, which is crazy. I didn't mention this in my other video, I totally forgot, but I actually had 10 no spend days in the month of July. So having 6 no spend days already within the second week is pretty good, I think. And okay, I'm ready. I'm going to check off the budget expense stickers as I go through, but I can go ahead and check off my bills for the first 2 weeks. So I have my car payment on the 1st. I paid for renter's insurance already and my car insurance. All right, so let's break up my weeks. So I went ahead and set these 2 pages up. I'll show you guys, of course, at the end of this video, once everything is already set up, how I set up my monthly pages, but give me a second. Okay, so let's go here. The first week, week 1, is going to be, like I mentioned, from the 1st until the 8th. And I just like writing it here so that I know. Second week will be from the 9th until the 15th. Third week will be from the 16th until the 22nd. So I like to do from Monday through Sunday. Fourth week will be from the 23rd until the 29th. And then my 5th week will be just the last 2 days. I don't typically do that, but I don't want to squeeze too many days at once because then I get stressed out about all the numbers. So, okay, that's going to be week 5. So I don't have a results section this month, which is completely fine. I actually did have one last month and I showed you guys how I went about that section and what it is that I do for it. So, okay, for a weekly check-in, let's go ahead and write out my categories. These would typically be my cash envelope categories, but I'm not using cash envelopes this month because I knew that it was going to be crazy with not only moving, but going on vacation. And, you know, I went to Mexico, so different currency, and I just didn't want to deal with that. So for this month, I'm not doing cash envelopes, but I'll definitely go back to them for next month. Although I will say that it's kind of hard around here to just like pay with cash. I mean, I didn't pay with cash this month, but I can tell it's going to be a little bit on the harder side. Anyways, let's go ahead and go through my categories. So I have groceries. I think I'm going to do household after this, like I did last month. Then I'm going to mark eating out. I'll do allowance, beauty, gas, and I also like to mark or track any unbudgeted expenses. So once again, the key is right here, which has all of those categories. So whenever you see a specific color, that means that it's for that specific category. So I think, well, before I do that, let me check how much money I rolled over for these categories. I don't think, no, I didn't roll over anything for groceries. I did roll over for households. For household, I actually rolled over $80 with 46 cents. Did not roll over anything for eating out or for allowance. That goes to my sinking funds. For beauty, I rolled over $36.60. Nothing for gas, and of course, nothing for unbudgeted. So that is what I use this little rollover section for. I only do this in the very beginning of the month because I don't budget paycheck to paycheck. I just budget for the month. But if you were to budget paycheck to paycheck, I think this would be a very ideal column for you. So then that way, once you're stuffing your cash envelopes either like bi-weekly or every week, you can go ahead and add the rollover amount for your cash envelopes for the weeks before. So yeah, okay, let's start because I feel like I'm talking way too much. Let's start with groceries. For groceries for week 1, we have, let's see, on the 1st and sprouts on the 5th. I believe I just picked up water here. So in total I spent, don't know where the camera turned off, but spent $13.96 for household, and I believe I started with 75. So let's see, 75 plus what I rolled over from last month minus $13.96 means that I had remaining after week 1 $141 with 50 cents. And next, for eating out, I went to get like a pastry and a coffee, I think, right here for $13.85, and I had poke bar on the 5th for $17.62. So let's start adding these up. And then last eating out expense was for Tempo Cantina. I went with my friend Claudia. It was our last little lunch before she left to Oregon, and that was the only day that I could do it since I was going on vacation. So in total I spent $62.19 for eating out, and I believe I'm starting with $150. I decided to, I know I mentioned that I was going to have like a tips envelope and everything, but I honestly just thought it would be easier to have it all together instead of splitting it up since I'm not doing cash. So I'm just gonna go ahead and count it out of the full $150. So $62.19 minus $150 means that remaining I had $87.81 for eating out. Did I spend anything for allowance? Not in the 1st. Oh, actually, yeah, I did. On the 7th, I reloaded my Starbucks card because me and my mom got Starbucks at the airport. So was that the only one? Yes, so $10 spent from allowance. I could have gotten it out of eating out, but I just decided to get it out to count it off of allowance. So remaining, I believe, yeah, I do 100, so $90. For beauty, I spent quite a bit of money this week because I got both my nails done as well as I got a pedicure. Just wanted to be ready for vacation. So for my nails, I actually ended up paying $150, and then I went ahead and tipped her $10. So it was a total of $160, which sounds like a very steep number, and it really is, but the amount of work that these nails took, and these are also like acrylic, they're not Gel X, I just think they're worth it. And you guys know I love getting my nails done, not only for like self-care, but also because I film these videos and I'm showing my hands all the time. So it's like a no-brainer to, you know, get my nails done and make them look presentable. So I don't mind spending this much. So that's what I spent for my nails. And then I spent $46 for a pedicure. So in total for beauty, I spent $206 in the first week. So $206 spent. And let's take a look. I budgeted $250 for the month, plus what I rolled over was $36.60 minus $206 means that I had $80 with 60 cents remaining for the month. So that is for beauty. And then for gas, I did end up spending money for every one of my categories this week. For gas, I spent $43.74. And now this is such an awkward number because usually I would be like, oh, I spent like $20 or $40. But since I'm not using cash this month, I paid with my card and I just decided to fill it up, and that's how much it was. So $43.74. I believe I budgeted $100 for gas this month. And I'm going to be well under that just because I didn't drive for like a whole week since I was on vacation. But remaining for this week, I had $56.26. And then I don't have any red stickers, which would indicate any unbudgeted expenses. I haven't had any actually this month thus far, so I'm just gonna put 0 and then a dash because I do not budget anything for that category. So that is going to be the first week, and now let's quickly move on to the second week. I should have probably written out these categories, so let me do that really quick. Okay, and then for the rollover section, I'm just gonna make dashes since I won't be utilizing that. And then, okay, let's start. I don't have much to track because like I mentioned, I was on vacation. The only two things that I would have to track would be groceries and household. I'm also going to check off my student loan payment. And all right, so for groceries, I spent $41.66. I ended up going to the Target by my parents' house, and I think that's what I'm gonna start doing because things are kind of a little bit pricier here around my area now. So let's see, $41.66 spent at Target. I had $151.99 for the prior week. So after this second week, I have $110.33 left for groceries, which I have around, I would say like 2 weeks. I'm not gonna count this third week because it's only 2 days, but if I divide the 110 by the 3 weeks, that would mean that I would have to spend around $37 in groceries every week. Sounds interesting, but it's only me. Like before I would have to account for someone else and to make sure that we both had food, but now it's like, I think it should be fine. We'll see, stay tuned. Anyways, for household, I spent $47.52. So $47.52, and last week I had $141.50. So now remaining I have $93.98, which is still a pretty good number. I do have to pick up some things for my house, which I've been delaying just because I wanted to make sure that I'm not like purchasing things that I don't need. And it's still kind of a mess in my apartment. I still have so many things to unpack. So that's kind of the main reason why I haven't really purchased those things that I need, but I'm gonna go this week in real time. But okay, the rest of these categories are all going to have zeros because those were my only 2 expenses for that week, and I don't have unbudgeted expenses either. So then the remaining is going to be the same as it was for last week. So let's write those out. Okay, so that is pretty much the end of the weekly check-in part of this video. So far, and looking back at like week 2, I think I was doing pretty great. I was kind of stressing out because I don't know, when I'm not tracking my expenses on like a weekly basis, I stress out because I think that I'm overspending. And to be honest, I could have probably spent a little bit less on like a few categories here and there, but I'm really happy that I'm now up to date. I actually have my transactions for like this week that I'm in right now, so then that way I am not filming these weekly check-in videos late anymore. So I'm really happy with what I have for this week, and yeah, so that is that. Moving on to my sinking funds. I've had a few transactions from my sinking funds for the first 2 weeks. So on the 5th, I had a transaction for miscellaneous for $14.22. I just bought some disposable masks, and I got a lot of questions as to what I use my miscellaneous fund for. And so as you guys can see, these are things that wouldn't necessarily be part of a category. I mean, I could have gotten the masks out of my household envelope, but I really like to have this section for things like that, as well as on the 6th, I use that same category to pay for valet parking, which if you think about it, like where else could I get that money from? I mean, I can get it from like allowance or like eating out since I went to this place to eat, but I think it makes more sense to have a miscellaneous category for things like that. So that's what I spent on the 6th. Then on the 8th until the 13th was my vacation. So I spent some money out of my adventure sinking fund. I spent around $308.19, and that was for like all the activities that we did in Cancun, as well as I'm a person who loves to buy souvenirs and to especially collect magnets from all the places that I've been. So I did end up adding onto that. So that was all that I spent during my trip. I took out around $100 worth of like singles as well as $5 bills so that I could tip the people at the hotel, because the workers there earn very little. I believe they earn about like $5 a day. So I thought it was definitely necessary for me to, tip the people that are helping me out. And I'll talk a little bit more about it, I think, in my actual Cancun vlog. But yeah, I was really, really happy with the service there, and I wanted to, of course, pay them and tip them whenever they helped me. So that was all that came out of adventures during that time. And then on the 14th, I spent $5 from my miscellaneous fund once again for parking. I ended up going to the Grove because I went to this restaurant called Maggiano's, which I really like. I actually went there for like my 22nd birthday once, I believe, a long time ago. And we ended up going, me and my friend Karen. So I spent money from my date night sinking fund, which has now became like my girls' night out, or like my taking myself out on a date fund. So I took out $34.06 from that, and once again I went with my friend Karen to that restaurant, which I really like, and it was really fun, and I was really happy that I was able to do that since I now have that category. So yeah, those are all of my transactions for these first 2 weeks from my sinking funds. And I think that's going to be it for this video, guys. There's nothing else I want to show you guys. Well, let's see. I did have one business expense, well, two. One for shipping of $13.01, and then one for PicMonkey of $12.99, which is where I make all of my thumbnails for my videos. But that was, I think, pretty much it. I think lastly, before I go, I will go ahead and flip through all the pages that I have set up within this month of my budget planner, just to give you guys some inspiration. So on the very first page, which is the monthly view, I have here, and you guys already saw, I track all of my expenses, my bills, everything, as well as no spend days. In here, after this monthly view, we have my savings tracker, my this month section, and my dashboard page, which I like to track like my financial goals, my cash envelopes, how much I spent in them per month, credit score beginning and ending, as well as my debt and savings, both the beginning and the ending. So that's what I track in this dashboard page. All these stickers, by the way, are from my shop, Romina Rosa. Yeah, pretty much every single one that I use in my budget planner. Then after that, I have my variable income page. So whenever I have any extra income from my sources here, like YouTube, Patreon, all of that, I'll go ahead and write it here, as well as I have here all of like my business expenses for those sources. Then next to that, I have my monthly budget spread, which I've set up with you guys. After that, we have both of my weekly check-in pages, which I just checked in with you guys. And then after those, I have my sinking funds and transaction log. After this, I do have more space. I have 1, 2, and 3 more pages. Typically, back in the day when I was really into my debt snowball, I would use one of these pages for that. But now, I honestly don't have much of a use for them. I'm still thinking of ways that I can use these pages. So let me know if you have a use for these extra pages, or what it is that you guys use your pages for. I know that a lot of people budget paycheck to paycheck, so you could definitely put like your first paycheck, second, and if you have a third, you can put it in here. So I think the pages that come in this planner are perfect to my needs. That's going to be all that I have for this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed coming along as I weekly checked in for week 1 as well as week 2 of this month's budget. If you enjoyed this video, as always, please do not forget to give it a huge thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel if you guys are not subscribed already. And hopefully I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye guys!